and welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name is Grace. I am an Irish lady, face, girl. I'm living in Ireland at the moment, and there'll be no travelling for a long time. I'm sad about it. But it is the 5th of October. It's Monday morning. I am working late, so I can film this podcast in the morning and then go into work for the afternoon and the evening. So lucky you, right? That's what I was thinking. So I've got a couple of things to show you today. Now, knitting wise, not much farther on, but I think I haven't shown you the newest project that I started because, of course, the most important thing to do when you have 5 projects that need to be finished is cast on a new one, right? So I have one knitting project. I have a crochet commission project, which I want to show you. I have a finishing technique with my linen weaving that I want to show you. And I have a giveaway. I also have an announcement to make about the Untangled Everywhere show, which is taking place online, and you can get tickets for the show in my bio. And I'm also going to let you know what time I need to double check it actually, but I'll let you know what time my little Zoom hangout is going to be over the weekend. But I need to get all those dates together in my notes. So I'll tell you that kind of at the end. But we'll talk about, actually the funnest bit about the Indiantangle is you don't have to buy a plane ticket. You can just go from anywhere. Anyway, no, we'll talk about knitting first, just in case you're not super interested in that. Although I don't know why you wouldn't be. So, right, what have I been doing? So this last week has been like the worst. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's just I've been super moody and not into it. But James reminded me as I was crying about how dark it was and how depressing it was coming into autumn, that I say this every year. Every year I panic and freak out about the dark evenings and the dark mornings. So this weekend, I've been striving to get to the weekend because I made a deliberate decision to do a bit of small little bit of cleaning, but nothing that I didn't want to do. We got the house kind of sorted, a few little issues which had been going wrong, which were kind of annoying me. And I made a decision to book a cabin in the woods with a fireplace for a week in November when I was supposed to be going to Barcelona, but I'm not. So I'm going to spend a week on my own in a cabin in the woods with all of my fibre. And I think it's just made me feel so much better. So I've also started doing Vlogtober. Now, I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know how much of a mood I'll be in. But yesterday I was really in the mood to do it. So I just put up a little 10-minute video of me lying on the couch knitting. So, you know. So yeah, October, November is normally quite a difficult time. Like it's just, you know, I'm not a super fall person. I told you that last time, but it does mean that I get to cozy up, and it does mean that I get to, you know, my knitting mojo is back a little bit. My wrists are still not super into it, even though I am, and I really want to knit, which is also frustrating me quite a lot. I've been having issues with tendonitis since February, wasn't it? So that's been sucking. But anyway, let's stop complaining and let's get on with the nice things that I've been doing. So I had a lovely weekend drinking hot chocolate, making nice cozy things, and just not being too hard on myself, I guess. So I started off this project, which is it's going to be, I've decided, my Pebbles and Pathways socks by Hey Brownberry, by Marcelin Smith. And this is one of my hand-dyed gradient sock blanks, and they will be available in not in my shop. They're going to be available exclusively for now because I don't have any more of these to dye in the Irish Fibre Crafters online shop, and I will let you know the second they're up there, because they're in the process of putting them all online, so that's very exciting. So I'm hoping to get 2 pairs of socks out of this one sock blank. It is a double sock blank, so if you can see, there's 2 strands coming out of the one blank, which means that the 2 socks that I'm knitting 2 at a time are going to be identical, which I like a lot. So this is a 75%, 25% blend, and it's just lovely and drapey, actually. Super soft. So it goes from like a dark green to a little bit of a sky blue. So I'd say I'm gonna get a pair of neon socks and a pair of these kind of deeper green socks, which are going to be pretty. So sometimes people are a little bit nervous about using these sock blanks because the yarn is all wiggly. I must say I've been just knitting the ribbing now at the moment, so maybe there's a little bit of wiggle going on there, but that'll all block out once I wash them. Now what you can do as well with these is you can actually unravel them and wind them up into 2 separate balls. You can actually skein them off, wind them off, skein them up, and then wet them if you don't want to work with the wiggly kind of noodle yarn. But like, that's not an awful lot of work, and it'll be grand in the end. I don't find that it affects my tension, because when you're actually knitting with them, you're straightening out the yarn anyway to wrap it around. So I don't find that it does affect my tension. I mean, it might affect it at a microscopic level, but like, they're socks. I knit mine on 2.5mm chow goose. I love the tips on these. They're not too pointy. They're kind of strong. They're like, I don't know, they're nice. I like the long ones as well, because often you can actually squish up both socks on the one needle, which is satisfying. So then what I do is I put my fingers through the 2 of them, pull out this one, and then I've got a nice good grip on that. So in case you don't know what magic loop is, I'm sure you do, but some people might be new to the channel, might be new to knitting, or maybe they've just always tried DPNs or the small little 9-inch circulars or something. But effectively what I'm doing is I have 64 stitches that I cast on in one long loop, and then I just folded it over. I folded the 64. So actually what I can do is I can actually put it out like this. Doesn't make a difference. So what I did was I got it all to the end. I folded it and then separated it. Now at the moment I like to separate it out at the purl. Just at the moment, that's how it's working. And then you just pull them through. And then what you do is you knit across the top, and then you turn the yarn around, pull the needle through, because your needle will be on this side now, pull that needle out and start knitting from that side. Knit that side. That probably doesn't make too much sense, but I was chatting to a friend there the other night, and last night actually, and I was talking about how I cast on the Magic Loop socks as well, because I love knitting cuff down. Don't ask me why. I just always start like that, and then it's obviously too late to think about anything else. So at the moment I'm knitting a 3x1 rib. I really like this. It's kind of, it feels a little bit invisible, and then on the inside it actually looks quite cute as well. You see, it's a 3x1 rib, so when it is stretched out you've got this very gentle sort of ribbing. I quite like it, and I think it'll go into the pattern quite well as well, because it's, I don't know, you've got less of an obvious, I don't know. I just kind of like it. I started using it there a while ago, and I just kept using it, really. So a 3x1 rib, it's probably less stretchy by a 2x2 rib or a 1x1 rib, but it's grand. I think I've not had a problem putting on my socks with the 3x1 rib. One other thing, when I'm casting on, do I have another set of needles that I can show you? Probably not. Okay, let's just imagine I haven't cast on anything. Let's imagine I've just got a cable needle with one big long cable in the middle. When I'm casting on, what I do is, in order to get a really stretchy cast on, I do a Norwegian cast on, but I also I get the needles and I double them up. And I cast on as if this is one needle. So I will get yarn. I got any yarn. I love this. I really want to use this for something, like a top or something. I had forgotten I had it. I don't know where I got it. I think a friend of mine might have given it to me from Colour Mart, maybe. That's lovely. I think it's like a linen or a cotton or something. Anyway, so with the Norwegian cast on, you've got the yarn. You put it over your finger and your thumb, and then you grab it together. So you've got a little triangle. You pop, this is your, ooh, this is your one needle. Let's pretend that that's one needle. And so you pop it, let's do it this way so you can see. So you pop it in between there, you bring it round, through, grab. No, that's not right. I need to practice. I need to see if I can do it. Ugh. I am good at this. I do know what I'm doing. Yes, okay, so that is the one stitch. How do you do the German? Oh yes, okay, yeah. Okay, I got it. Okay, so we're seeing here, right? So you've got your little triangle, you bring your yarn up, bring the needles into the middle there, bring it up, bring it through. This is just, we'll just do a normal long tail cast on. Bring it over and then through the thumb loop, and then grab that yarn from the finger and then bring it through the thumb loop again. And that's your first two stitches. Through the thumb loop, grab the finger and then bring it back through that thumb loop. Kind of doing a bit fancy there. Anyway, there are better tutorials than that to show you how to do the long tail cast on. So the Norwegian one then is you go through grabbing both of them. Oh, is that right? Hang on. I gotta figure out. Nope, I can't remember. It's not working for me. But anyway, essentially what I'm talking about is, in order to get a stretchy cast on, you can do the Norwegian one, which gives a little bit extra, and you'll have to look that up because obviously my mind is just going blank. But you've effectively doubled your needle size here, which just lets you have a more of a stretchy bind off. So once you've got your 30 or your 64 stitches on, you then just slip out one of the needles all the way through. So you have 64 stitches on the big long one. Then you bend it over and do your magic loop. Now I just did that twice to get two needles on this, two socks on the same needle. Does that make any sense? That's okay if it doesn't, because my brain isn't, even though I've had my coffee and I have dunked in a really cold river. It's tricky. I wish I could show people in real life again, you know. I miss kind of teaching. I miss teaching. Anyway, so because you get feedback from students, you know, when they're there, and you can see if they're actually getting it or not. Must be so hard for online teaching. Ugh, nightmare. Anyway, so I am very much enjoying this this little pattern. The color changes are going to be quite slow because it's such a gradient. It's a long gradient. So I'm actually half thinking about next time I dye these, I'll actually dye them like two pairs of socks, so a faster gradient. Maybe. So yeah, they're going to be the Pebbles and Pathways socks, and I think it's going to be part of the Socktober 2020 Cal, which Mars is running with Denise from why can I not? Earth Tone Girls podcast. Yes. So they're running Socktober 2020. So the hashtag is hashtag Socktober, SOCKTOBER 2020. And yeah, it was a really tight battle. I put it up on Instagram, all of Mars's sock patterns, and Pebbles and Pathways won over the intersections pattern by maybe 2 votes. And there was like 50 or 60 votes for each pattern. So I was like, ooh, tight. So I'm going to have to obviously make the intersections pattern at some point as well. Simples. So that is the only thing I've really been knitting on. I have been knitting slowly on the other pattern, the other projects that you would have seen last week, but nothing really has come of it. So that's fine. I did want to show you this really cute project that a friend in work has actually commissioned me to make. He is expecting a baby. Very exciting. And he requested a crochet or a blanket, knitted or crochet, and I suggested crochet because it's much faster and much easier, much more affordable for him. And it's also really nice because the air holes there's less chance of suffocation, I think. Although you do have to be careful with the little baby fingers in the holes, but I think most of the time it's grand. So what he wanted to do is, he is Polish and his wife is Irish, or his partner is Irish, the mother of the baby. So he wanted a flag, basically a flag blanket. So on the top, I have these squares. I'm using this yarn, Creative Cotton Aran Rico Design. And I bought them from This Is Knit. And I picked up red, 3 reds and 4 yellow, 3 reds and a load of white, and gold and green. So that basically we're going to have a Polish flag on the top and then an Irish flag on the bottom. And then I'm going to write their names, like the Polish name on top and the Irish name on the bottom. And it's going to be like a little Pole-Irish baby. So cute. So I got the yarn from This Is Knit online, and it's lovely stuff to work with, really. Actually, it's super, it's super lovely and soft. So what I'm doing is I'm just making loads of granny squares. So I'm making 3 granny squares in the white. Where's the other one? So the Polish flag is red and white. Oh no! And I think the Polish is it this way or is it this way? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to find out. But I think it's this way. So Polish flag is going to be across the bottom. So I've done it all in squares so that it'll all match up. I find if I'm crocheting straight, the edges are always a bit wonky. So I decided to do them all flat into squares, because then at least I know it'll all be square in the end. So that is my plan. I'm leaving on all the little balls for connecting and maybe doing an edge. So, but that's kind of annoying me a lot at the moment, so I might cut them off. But cotton's a little bit harder to kind of weave in. It doesn't really kind of felt in like wool does. So that's why I hadn't cut off too many. I don't really want too many ends in this. I would like to keep it as endless as possible. Now, I need to get a proper bag for that. So I'm really enjoying that though. It's a really simple, easy project. But again, I can't do too much of it because of my wrist. So I'm just going slowly with that. Baby's due in January, I think. So hopefully it'll all be done. It's half done now. That's the Polish flag done. So I just need to start on the Irish flag now. So the Irish flag is the Polish flag needed 3 white squares 3 white squares and 3 red squares. Then the Irish flag is going to have 2 green squares, 2 white squares, and 2 yellow squares. 1 square will come from one of those balls. So one granny square, I've just basically knitted as big as I could. It's 50 grams, 85 meters. So it's an Aran weight. So it'll be really cozy because it's January. It's going to be really cold until April or May. So you want to give them big cozy blankets so they can stay nice and warm in their little cocoon. So I think there's an awful lot of pandemic babies happening at the moment. But anyway, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, do you remember my weaving project from last week? Well, I washed it. It now looks like this. It's lost that crisp cardboardy shine. But like, it is so soft now. So this will only get softer as well the more I use it. So it's getting to a point now I'm like, oh, maybe cushion covers is not what I want. Maybe I want this close to my skin because it's so nice. It's so nice now. I haven't ironed it yet. So what I did was I had a bucket of really hot water and a bucket of really cold water, and I put fairy liquid or just washing up liquid in the hot one, and I let it soak, and I actually had to use tongs because I'd put boiling water in, like boiling water, and I moved it around a lot. I did a lot of movement. You're not gonna felt linen. What you need to do is you need to shrink it. So what you needed to do, because when you're actually weaving it, there's an awful lot of these holes. You can kind of see my face a little bit. So, but before, the holes were so much larger, and there's a risk of the fabric traveling, of the threads moving within the piece because it's not set, it's not fixed. So what you need to do is shrink it a little bit, which means you need to put it under a lot of stress. Now, I could have thrown it in the washing machine, but I was terrified, so I didn't. So I did the washing by hand. So I popped it in the really hot, I had like a tongs, and I was popping it in the really hot water and swirling it around, and then I dunked it straight into the really cold water, and then back, and lots of movement and lots of heat changes and soap and things like that. So that was to kind of set the yarn into the right place. Then I threw it in the dryer, and I was scared, and I was really scared. But Linda from the Slow Wardrobe, so this is her yarn, this is her driftwood gradient set. Oh, it's so lovely. So she said, do it, Grace. Do not be afraid. It is going to be fine. Linen loves you. No matter what you do to it, it loves you. So I did it, and it loves me. It's so squishy. So I've got these lovely little curly edges. So what I'm going to do is iron it out, and figure out what I'm going to do with that. Now, you don't have to throw it into the wash to do that. She was saying if you're afraid to wash it, you can actually just use the steam setting on the iron, and that'll shrink it. And I'm like, okay. So but I'm definitely going to do that anyway because it's gone a little bit floopy. And if I'm going to be knitting or sewing with it, I do still plan on making the pillow covers. But as you can see, it's actually it's smaller now because it has shrunk. So it is so much smaller now, which thank God I washed it before I sewed it, because if I hadn't, then everything would have shrunk and the pillow wouldn't have fit. So now it's going to be like a small decorative pillow, because it was much wider. So my finished measurements, I'm not sure what they are, but they are smaller. I'd say they're... So I wove it on a 16-inch, and I got about 15 inches width off it straight away. I'd say it's gone down to 13 and a half inches now, which is fine. So I have a very special giveaway, but it's going to be on Instagram. So I'm going to put the link down below for you to enter into this giveaway. So the gorgeous, fabulous Linda from the Slow Wardrobe, who is sponsor of this podcast, by the way, because she keeps sending me stuff. Because I love her. But she has sent me all of the twisted fades. So that these are what this comes in, this lovely little set, and they come in 3 different colorways. This one is called Flower Garden, and it is so pretty. It's very spring, although it could be Christmas. That's kind of Christmassy, but it's called Flower Garden. This one is called Columbine, and this one is my favorite. I'm saving it. And then this one is called Driftwood. So these are the colors that it comes in. Can I get it right? Wait, now if the flower goes out on the front, if I hold it like that. Wait, if I could do this. So these are all the 3 colorways of this Twisted Fades set. And what you get in it, so this is from Tall Yarns from slowwardrobe.co.uk. This is Layer Cake Linen Twisted Fade. You get 7 hanks of 25 grams each, which adds up to 1,050 meters of yarn. It's 100% linen. The shade is Flower Garden, and she says needle size is 3 millimeters and up. And she actually sends out a pattern with them as well, I think. This is the Soapler scarf, which is a gradient fade. It's really easy. It's a garter stitch, kind of a long garter stitch. Why can I not think? A long floopy scarf to jazz up any outfit. Equally effective in a gradient, multicolor, or semi-solid yarn. Super easy. Super easy. So I do recommend. So this is the pattern. This is the colorway that made that scarf. I love the tassels. Oh, I love it so much. So in order to win a prize, so she's going to send it out straight to you. You have to choose which one you would like. Choose which colorway you would like. You have to like and share and follow our pages, the Slow Wardrobe and Babbles, Grace the Babbler, and then you will be in to win it. And if you would like to as well, for an extra entry, you can tag a friend who might be interested in joining and getting one of these lovely prizes. I love them. So that'll be on Instagram only. So if you pop over to Instagram, there's a link just down below where you can get that bad boy. So that is a very generous gift that Linda was so nice about. So then what were we going to talk about? Oh yes, Indiantangle. So some people have been so I popped up the link in my Instagram bio to get the tickets. So the tickets for the event is basically, it's all general admission, but you have to sign up for certain events if you want to join. So Indiantangled is run by Lisa Chamov, and she normally has it at the weekend, or the weekend just a couple of days just before Rhinebeck weekend, in around the same area. So Rhinebeck is a big massive festival in the States, I think it's upstate New York somewhere, and it's gigantic, and everyone loves it and everyone goes. It's really cool. I really want to go some year. Hopefully at some point it will be running again in the future. So, but Indiantangled was something that, so I met Lisa in Barcelona last year. We got very drunk. There was she might have not got drunk. I remember being quite drunk because I generally, they take me to really nice bars and they have really nice gins, and then I drink it all. And then I spend lots of money on the gin and the yarn and the food, and I miss Barcelona so much. Anyway, I met Lisa there. We all went out for dinner. I promised I would go. I was very drunk. Anyway, she got in contact with me and she was like, so it's not happening in real life, but would you like to take part in the Indiantangled Everywhere online show, which is going to be taking part on the 15th to the 17th of October. Get my dates right. And I said, absolutely. Because I miss festivals and I haven't been to like a digital one. Now this one is very interesting. So Lisa is one of the most highly organized people I have ever met, probably. And she has set up basically the whole weekend is going to be kind of a virtual space that we can all hang out. So there's lots of different sections to the hangout, basically. You've got, I had to write it all down because there's so much. So they've got vendor live interviews. They've got designer live interviews as well. The designer ones are very interesting because if you get a place in those, you actually get a free pattern to go along with that, with your submission. So they can like talk you through it and you can find out the way how they designed it and how, you know, their thoughts behind it, which is but you've also got a podcaster meetups, which is what I'm doing. So my one is 3 p.m. on the Thursday, so at the start of the festival. So 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. Irish time, UK time. When do the clocks go back? I think the clocks go back the next weekend. Anyway, I'll put up all the details, but it's basically in 2 weeks. So yeah, that's my slot, but there's also slots for Libby Johnson from the Truly Myrtle audio podcast and video podcast as well. So she's going to be doing a podcaster Zoom kind of meetup. Mina Phillip from the Knitting Expat, you can meet up with her, you can sign into hers. They're all at different times, so you can come to all of them if you want. Marcelin Smith, Hey Brown Bear, you can chat directly with her. And Christopher Walker, who's Cabin Boy Knits, you can have a chat with him as well. So we all have like our own little slots, and it's all on the website indiantangle.com, and you can find the link down below. So general admission price is $5, which is probably equivalent to €5, maybe €6, maybe less. I think it's less actually, $4.50 maybe. Anyway, it's extremely affordable. Is what I'm saying. So if you want to pop over, the link in my bio is an affiliate link, so I do get a percentage of the commission. So thank you so much if you do choose to buy through that link. I really appreciate it. It helps a little bit because I mean, obviously I had to cancel all of my teaching gigs all year and all of my other gigs, which but to be honest, I've been so busy with work, I've not had a chance to kind of mourn the loss. I'm actually, maybe that's what I'm missing. I'm missing like the start of, like, because Yarn Folk was supposed to be happening, like October time, Yarndale. I was thinking about going over to Yarndale. Anyway, so if you do choose to use that link, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It does go towards the podcast. It goes towards my time and my just me. Let's be honest. Thank you so much. One thing I wanted to say as well, there's a couple of more things with the Indiantangled, which, because I've been reading about it all weekend because I'm obsessed. I'm so excited. I'm getting so excited. So you can actually book in slots with vendors and they'll take you on a personal shopping experience for their yarns. So say I know that Vlogmas is going to be there. So if you wanted to get in to get some of their specials or some of that sort of stuff, but I really would advise booking your ticket early and booking your slot as early as you can, because obviously they're going to fill up as soon as you can, like they really go fast. So I really would recommend trying to do that. What else? Oh, there's fashion shows. The fashion shows, there's going to be 4 throughout the weekend, so you can show off all the projects that you've been making, and if you've been making a special Indiantangle project, that's also part of that, or you can say you have, and maybe you could win some prizes. I'm just saying. There's also Friday Night Bingo, which sounds class. So that's going to be sponsored by Scratch Supply Company, so you'll be winning some prizes there. It's going to be prizes and special features all weekend. There's going to be hidden show specials. One I'm very excited about is the Countess Ablaze colorway set. It's the collection is called Hipster Yarny, and one of them that I'm completely obsessed with is I think it's a teal. And she said the title is "I'm so indie I buy yarns that don't exist yet." I mean, I feel slightly called out, but that's what Countess does, doesn't she? She's irreverent and she calls us all out on our BS. Yeah, so there's going to be basically shopping. You can meet your friends, you can meet your the people that you like to watch, like myself. If you want to meet me, if you want to meet me in a Zoom room and answer, you know, if you've any questions, if you have any topics that you'd like me to cover, yeah, so like any podcasting questions, vlogging questions, knitting questions, anything you like, you can submit them to me and I might answer them during the Zoom, or I might do a Q&A. I might actually do a Q&A. Would anyone be interested in a Q&A? If you are interested, pop a question down below and I'll whip up that video. I am planning on doing Vlogtober. I think, did I call it Vlogmas at the start? Anyway, I've been calling it Vlogmas. It's not Vlogmas yet. Calm down, Grace. So anyway, so those are the few bits that I did want to pop by you and I did want to do this podcast about today. I hope you're having a great time. That sounded so... I'm not convinced about that. Sorry, listen, I don't know what is happening. I think it's just the concept of more lockdowns and dark weather now, and the weather's getting worse and worse, and oh my god. Anyway, I know a lot of people are into spook season and they're really into Halloween, and I'm actually jealous of people who are really into that because I'm kind of not, and I wish I was, because it would really help out this season for me, mentally, psychologically. I'm just looking up there now at my hand spun wall and I'm really seeing a load of Halloween-y inspired colorways or hand spun. So I might actually do giveaways because they're kind of Rhinebeck-y, kind of Halloween-y fall colors. So I might give away a few of my hand spun skeins because literally they've just been staring at me. So they might be some of the giveaways during the Zoom hangout. So I'll just remind you, that is 3 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, on Thursday the 15th of October. That is my slot. Come see me, book in, and I might be giving away, I think I'm going to be giving away a load of stuff. I just want to make people happy. I just want to make people happy. And I also hope to have my dye pots out at some point. We finally cleared out the garage and all my dye pots and stuff had been buried underneath a load of stuff from James's work that he hasn't been able to move because of COVID. So I want to set them up again because I've got a load of yarn here. I've got a load of the Vanawillemiel yarn that I really want to dye up, and it's a non-superwash Aran weight, really thick, cozy, comfy yarn. Yeah, so there might be some of my hand dyed yarn. I haven't dyed yarn in over a year, maybe 2 years, so that might be something real special that I might bring back just for Indiantangled everywhere. So please do buy your ticket and get in on the action, because we deserve a little bit of happiness, we deserve a little bit of community, we deserve a little bit of fun and yarny goodness and fabulousness. And then sure, look, we'll be getting packages then, and then it's kind of feels like Christmas. Has anyone bought an advent calendar? I haven't bought any this year. I think I've been saving up for Indiantangle, to be honest. So I still have my advent calendars from last year. I still haven't used up all the yarn because I knit the Timely cardigan out of my advent last year, but I still haven't used up all the yarn. So I might do a crochet blanket or something, because I am really enjoying the crochet again, but I might marl it. So that might be an idea. Okay, you guys. So I will talk to you later. So don't forget about the giveaway. the Slow Wardrobe giveaway. There's a link down below, and don't forget to buy your tickets for Indiantangled. Have a wonderful week. Do your best to stay as bright and happy as you can, and if you can't, just curl up in a cozy duvet and have a little cry, because you know what? Sometimes you just need to wallow in your sad feelings, and then they go away. They do. They go away. Then tomorrow's another day. Sometimes a good cry, that's quite satisfying. So just do it. I love you. Stay safe.